tap into this sort of thing where you're just like, I don't know. Sometimes it comes so clearly of like, of course, this is what we should do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, so not selfishly, but like for me, obviously having lived my whole life in the sport of snowboarding, like I could see the disconnect in the sport, right? I could see that like, you know, you could go to X Games and you could, you know, get your most views of the year because it had the biggest broadcast, you know, and it had decent prize money. But then the biggest prize money is like a random event in Japan or in Europe that doesn't have the ratings, but it's the biggest prize purse. And then you got to go to these events to get points to get you to the Olympics. And then you got to go, and it's just like this random all over the map season. Mm-hmm. And you're looking at the landscape and you go, wow, like, you know, all of these events are either owned by, you know, it's a solo event and there's no crossover points for anything else, or it's run by a brand, right? So like you had the Mountain Dew Tour events. Burton had the US Open Series. You had the Vans Triple Crown, right? And can you imagine if basketball was like owned and operated by Nike and they're like, we love basketball, but we're just seeing more bang for our buck in running. So we're just going to have less matches this year. We'll pull back. No one will know. We'll have a couple. We'll keep it up, but we'll pull back and we'll put it all into running. And now the sport suffers. And so you go, wow, like how is the sport being kind of like dictated by brands right now? And how is it not in its own sort of thing? And obviously the Federation of International Skiing, the FIS, is probably the only one that's been around consistently like doing these competitions. And you know, I just think in the beginning, the events, you know, they needed work. And there's a lot of talk about, you know, why is skiing running snowboarding and like all these things. And people try to get in there and change it. So it was always in the back of my mind that something needed to happen. But, you know, they always went about it, I felt like, in the wrong way, or it just fell short. And the intentions were good and what they wanted was great, but it just never really got there. You know, there wasn't like a great business mind leading the charge. It was always just like a fellow athlete that, you know, didn't really have the background to do that, you know, and still focusing on their career and like, you know what I mean? And partying and whatever. Like it was just like a crazy time. And so, you know, for me, I was like, wow, I could course correct this for all the athletes coming after me. Yeah. You know, and I could be the one guy to like bring it together. The William Wallace. You know what I mean? Like, let's unite the groups. Let's get everybody together. And I started calling athletes. It's like, hey, look, I've lived the life you are currently living for the past 20 plus years. Like, I'm here now. I got a voice. Like, let me use it and let me help you. Let me make things better for you. And let you tell me what you need, you know, because I don't want to dictate what the future is going to be like for these athletes. I want to hear from them. And so that started there. I started calling the coaches. I started calling the heads of the teams. And then I started calling the mountain owners and operators that I already, you know, had relationships with, having competed at the resorts for so many years, you know, sponsors I already knew, people that ran, you know, like one of my favorite events, how were they run? Let's get those people. And then let's dig in and find a CEO that loves the sport, but doesn't necessarily like, his background isn't the sport. Yeah, it's business, you know, and let's combine him with somebody that's like a legacy person in the sport. This guy, Ian Warda, he's been running snowboarding competitions for as long as I can remember. And so like, let's get them together. And then, okay, well, what are people not doing? You know, like, you know, we had an Olympic qualifier at Mount Creek, New Jersey, and nothing against Mount Creek, New Jersey. It's actually an awesome place to ride. I don't want to go back. But you wouldn't think of that as a premier destination for an Olympic qualifying event for snowboarding, right? And I don't know why or how we ended up there. I think financially it probably made sense on some balance sheet, you know, but it really didn't deliver the best performance that the athletes could have given. I was there. There's a big hole in the wall. We had a big meeting up at the top. And like, we got to address the hole in the wall. He's like, my guys got it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just forget about it. This is my terrible accent, but he goes over and his buddy goes down and just spray paints a circle around it.
Avoid this.
Avoid it. And I'm like, oh man. You know, we did the world championships of snowboarding in a place called Yabuli, China, you know, and it's the world championships of snowboarding. It was at this place that I had never been before. And I was like, oh, well, hey, it's the world championships. I got to go. And, you know, they just didn't have the machinery or the sort of manpower to build the pipe correctly. And so the teams got together, voted, no one's going to compete here. We can't do it. And that was the World Championship of Snowboarding. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough to see that's how things were playing out. And there's nothing, again, like, I think they were doing their best. They've been running the sport, consistently in and out. They're not cutting back on it. Like they've been doing it. I just saw that there could be a better way and really put the athletes first and put them like, here's a concept. Instead of going to these places, why don't we go take the world's best athletes and we put them at the world's best resorts with the best facilities, and we give them the highest prize purse out there, and we broadcast them on an amazing network, and we see what they do, and you get the best performances. Ayumu Hirano competed at all the Olympic qualifiers leading up to the Olympics. He hadn't landed a triple until the Olympics.
Wow.
Just because the half pipes weren't up to caliber, or obviously other things came into play. He landed some of them, he tried whatever, but never completed a full run till it was at the Olympics. So that was the best half pipe of the year. But people watched and went, oh my God, that was incredible. I'm like, well, that could happen every single time. We just need the facility to be amazing. So I just picked the best places in the world. We started in China at the resort where they last hosted the Olympics. Obviously, Aspen is a major destination. And we're going to Locks, which is, debated as to be the best half pipe in the world. Chloe Kim, Scotty James, they all train there. And so, and let's like give it a different feel, different vibe, and like, let's push forward. And my favorite part about all of it has been just the sort of smiles and the like, I shouldn't say smile. Obviously I love seeing them happy, but the athletes just being like, this is great. I love coming to these events. I have the best time. I'm getting paid well.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm being taken care of, and I believe in this future. We had 2 Olympic gold medalists show up at the last event in Aspen, and one of them wasn't competing. She left her media tour to come to Snow League with a broken hand just to do press, because she was like, I love this event. Shaun's supporting us. I got to do this. I'm gonna leave everything, flying from Korea to come to the Snow League. Yuto was there, fresh off his tour. Like, he could have easily just been like, dude, I'm done. I'm just gonna I did a home run. I'm gonna run the bases. I'm gonna enjoy this moment. But no, he came and competed at the league. He didn't even win. You know what I mean? He, like, if it were me, like, I don't know, I'm maybe I'm a little more vain than he. I'd have been like, I'm gonna bask in this glory for a bit longer than to just put my name on the line at the next event and potentially be dethroned. Like, I don't know. I was so, man, it made me feel good to see them show up and support me, support the league, and be there because they believe in it. I didn't force them to.
Yeah.
I weren't getting paid to. It was just like, they want it because they know once the Olympics is gone, where else is there going to be this sort of tour? Where else are they going to get this kind of, compensation, this kind of, recognition and their story told all the way up to the next Olympics. So yeah, there's a lot at play, but it's been an incredibly like amazing experience. And you talk about teamwork and feeling like a part of a team. Like, I've definitely stepping into this sort of like, feels like maybe like a Godfather's role, like hey,
legacy building land.
Let me, and I don't know, I could only compare it to maybe like Jake Burton, like the guy's the father of the sport. Like, I'm trying to maybe take the torch where he left it and try to take it a little further, like, I don't know. And I know that's a big shoes to fill, but I like to dream big, and I like to like go for things. And if I have a vision, I just like, you can't stop me. I'm going for it. And, here we are, season 1. We're about to wrap it up in Locks. I'm just so thrilled to see these athletes, hand them this incredible trophy, big prize purse, and then start just back to the drawing board of me visualizing what season 2 is going to look like, and how can it be different? How can it be better? How are we competing against ourselves to be better?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting.
Well, the likelihood of that thing thriving, it's huge because you do have a track record. Yeah. But like, I think the thing that's really awesome is you progressed the sport with a lot of the tricks that you were doing and the way that you would execute, right? And now you're progressing the sport for the benefit of others, so that it has a remarkable future. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. No, and it's such a great feeling, and really highlighting the athletes, and then the thing that came through that was so amazing as well is like, just our cap table, like our investors are big time sports investors, Aries and David Blitzer, and like these massive, owners of the Red Sox, like these people that are huge in sports. They believe in sports. They support sports, and they believe in us. They believe in this league. They believe that this is going to succeed, and they are very smart people, and they want to make a return. And just like all those people in the press and the billboards start going up, like, I don't feel the pressure. I'm like, they believe in us. They believe like we can do it. We can make this big change. We can take this sport into a new place. Like, why not? When you look at the sport, Eileen Goose, freestyle skier, she's, I think now, I don't know where she's at now, but she was maybe third or second highest paid female athlete in the world. And she's competing at these events, making like $5,000, and it's it costs more to fly there to get the hotel and to do all this stuff. Like, it's just, there's been a disconnect. So I'm excited to really be the conduit for change.
Well, it's amazing. I appreciate you telling us the story and for unpacking it with us.
Cheers.